Well, hello, Stampers. It's the Pampered Stamper, and welcome to part two of stamping through my stash. So, if you saw the other video that I did on desert details, I sort of left you hanging. But let's take a look, and I will show you something. So, this is the desert details, and this, can you guess what that is? This is definitely not a card. This is a piece of masking paper, which is a fantastic product from Stampin' Up. It'll be, the link for that will be in the details. But I used this to make this card front. Isn't that so cool? Those are with these two stamps from Desert Details. So I started by stamping this piece, and then I laid this on top to mask it off, and then I stamped alternatively with these two stamps. So now we're going to finish making the card. So I decided to pull in. I didn't want to use these sayings. They're nice, but I wanted to use the something fancy. So here's the something fancy, and it also comes in Dutch. So I'm going to do it like this so that my Dutch friends can see this. So lots of great sayings in there. And yeah, so even if you are living in Canada and you want that set, echt iets bijzonders, let me know. I can order it for you and take it with in my suitcase. I do have some people, some immigrants, and some people with lots of Dutch friends still. So yeah, that's a nice bonus that I have here. And the something fancy does come with dies, and I used these two tag dies, and they nest inside of each other. Oops, there. Okay, and then I also used this die here that came with the Desert Details. Okay, so if you want to see the rest of the dies, they're kind of, oh, it's such a mess. The magnet sheets that I have are not as strong as I would like, and they fall off. So I'm looking for some better ones on Amazon. You do get what you pay for. So these three nest, and then you have this one. And I just have I store all my little extra bits and bobs in the box. I should put them in a little baggie. I didn't do that. Okay, so let's get started. So we have this piece, and I thought I would put it on a, so what's this color? Soft Succulent. Those are colors that I associate with the desert. But then I thought I would put a nice little edge on it, and I used this die, and it cut the whole bloody thing off. I thought it was only going to cut off the one edge, but it actually cut off both. So that was a disappointment. So I had to go to plan B. And I thought, okay, I'll cut it again in this color here. So what we're going to do is put that here later. I thought that would look nice. And then I stamped this, but I wanted to show you how I did it. Okay, so that's done. But what I always do is I save the negative. So here's the negative. And then I can put it in my Stamparatus. Move this aside. So what I do is this. Put it here. Then I lay my stamp on here. And I had to trim my stamp so it's more than what you see here. It looks ugly now, but the whole thing is on there. So then I go like so. Lift it up. I check on here to make sure it's straight. It looks reasonably straight, so I'm going to leave it. Then I put my tag in here so I can have a whole bunch cut, and then I can stamp as many as I need to. But I have to be careful that it's tight in there. And then I need my Cajun Craze ink pad, just hiding under my pile. You guys have that too? Stuff piles up on your desk. I cleaned off a section to do this, but yeah, I have all the stuff I need sitting on my left-hand side. So here we go. I love this saying because sometimes we forget, don't we? Here, let's have a look what it says. I didn't forget your birthday. I'm just stretching out the celebration. I want to try another layer of color on here because I did forget a very dear birthday. I don't have my birthday calendar here, and I don't think Facebook reminded me, and I have 3 birthdays right around that time, and I just couldn't remember. So I have this, so we're going to use that. Let's have a look. So I want to, and then I ran the bigger one. If you see, I ran it through the embossing folder, the timber, I think it's called. And that's going to go on here. I haven't decided if I want to color over top of it or not. So I'm just playing right now. That's how I do things. So I have this. I'm going to put in, is that too big? That's for the inside. So the inside is going to go like so. And then I'm going to put this like so. And then let's see how that looks. Yeah, that looks good. All right, so that's good. So far, so good. And look, I use both sides, just like famous painters used to do that. They would paint over top of paintings because they couldn't afford to have something new. So I thought this would either go on straight or on an angle, but I think straight. Otherwise, there's just too many angles going on. And then I made a big bow out of linen thread. Isn't that great? Look at that. It's a triple bow. You can use a bow maker, and I will share the link for that. I don't have my bow maker here in Holland. I should order another one. So what I do is I go around my fingers. So around 4 fingers, and then around 3 fingers. Oops. Once more, like so. And I just want to pull it so that I've got there. So pull them out a little bit. And then I grab it, slide it off, hold it, twist, pull a little bit so that you get some going different, like a little bigger and smaller. Give it a little twist, and then I'm going to cut, and then I cut another piece here. And I'm sorry if this is a little bit hard to see. I loop that around, and this does take a little bit of finger gymnastics. It might take a little bit of practicing. If you have another person there, it's no problem. So I'm tying this extra piece around the middle there. And now I would have liked that to be longer, but it's not, so I'm just going to cut it short. There, and now I have my bow. It's a messy bow. Oops, look at that. This is the second time that I have found a knot in my linen thread. So I'm going to take a picture of this. I'm going to send it to Stampin' Up! And I'm going to say, I need my linen thread replaced because this is unacceptable. Always check your products. This has never happened to me with linen thread. It's the first time, but it's happened to me twice today. So I am unhappy. As a demonstrator, if you have this happen with your products, let me know because we stand behind our products. So I'm so glad this happened to me and that I could show you. I know that sounds really weird, but that's the truth. Okay, we need some liquid adhesive. There we go, hiding again. I'm going to put this front on first. This is really funny. So those are the other sayings that are in that suite. So, and you know what? It doesn't show through. So play on one side and then make on the other. Use your paper twice. This is great. I'm so Dutch. Dutch are known to be thrifty, but when I'm in Holland, I think, you know what? They're really not. In a lot of ways, they're not thrifty. And then I think, well, maybe it's just immigrant Dutch people because they had to live a harder life. There. Okay. And now we're going to put this one in the middle. And then maybe I want to stamp the flower. I could just put a flower on there like this. That is nice. But I want to stamp a flower for you. So let's do that. I'm going to maybe do 2 then. We'll do the big one and maybe the little one. And get a block. There. Cajun Craze. This is a beautiful, distinctive stamp, but you want to check on this, make sure it's totally inked up. And I'm going to, oh goodness, put it here. See, and then I can just leave it like that. I could put another one on, but I actually just love it this way. I was going to put another little one on. You could cut a mask and then you could do another flower, but I'm just going to leave it like this. Got a few fingerprints on it. That's okay too. You know, people need to know that this is a work of art. It's been handmade. It's not going to be perfect. That's okay. It's nice to see the little telltale signs of the person, the human, the fallible human behind the card. Just remember that. Like those little things, those little smudges are going to make somebody smile that, you know what, that person isn't perfect. That's okay. And you're going to write right over top of it. It's going to look artsy and vintage. That's totally okay. Oh, and see, my flower actually went too far. That's okay too, because we're going to cover it up. Except now I have to find, oh yeah, here it is. So it's going to go right like that. Okay. I think it's going to look really pretty when we're done. Here. And I want that little edge go onto the soft succulent like so, so that there's just a wee little tip there. See, now look. Oh, I should have moved it over more. You know what? I can do another piece like that. Oh, you know what? It doesn't have to, like, this is just testing me. It doesn't have to be perfect, does it? No. In fact, when it's open, you're not even going to be able to see it. It's going to sit like that on someone's desk. They're not going to notice. Okay. Let's see. Do we want to keep this plain? I think so. I'm not going to sponge over top. I was tempted, but I'm not going to. Okay. I'm going to put some liquid adhesive on this. I'm going to adhere it, give it a nice press. There. Pop it up on some dimensionals. So the card is going to be fairly simple. The emphasis, the spotlight is on the technique. Okay, we don't want to cover up that fantastic design that we've made. And I will make sure that the next video on here will be the one that I did before this so that you get to see that one too. So in case this is your first glance at what I'm doing, you're going to be okay. There. And then we're going to put this big fat bow on with a glue dot. As soon as I find my glue dots. Look, do you have that too, where you find a box and it's empty? You give it a little shake and you go, oh, not in there. And then it's under something. Always look under things, people. You will find it. Sometimes it's stuck on the back of your arm. I've had stamps do that. It's crazy. On the bottom of my laptop, on the bottom of my Stamparatus, you name it, it happens. That's really cute, I think. I love the organic feel of this. Really neat. See, there's another little fingerprint in there. That's totally okay. Simple card. I'm not sure if I should add anything else to it. I thought about it. There was a little flower here. But do I want to add that in here? Actually, you know what? That is kind of nice, isn't it? Look, it looks better when you see it closer up. See? Yeah, I like that. It's a little bit unexpected. Yeah. And then I'll show you a few other things. Like, always play a little bit. Just have your elements ready that coordinate, and then don't commit to them right away. Just think about it. I have, oh, let's see. Oh, you know what? Oh, I'm so excited. Look at this. I have this piece. And so now see how that was out of the way? I'm going to do this so that it's, okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. Oh, I'm so happy. Okay, this just has to be trimmed to 4 inches. So let me grab my trimmer. Trimmer is hiding. Okay, you were looking at a happy squirrel. So I had to go and grab my trimmer because I used it somewhere else. And then I found a die cut and I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be perfect. So let's trim this little piece to 4 inches. There, just a wee little piece had to come off. And so that's why when I'm playing with a suite, I like to have a bunch of stuff cut out. So that helps with your creativity. You know, you can just grab the pieces and see if they work or not. There's no stress, there's no extra work. It's just wonderful. And look, I'm just going to lay this the other way. Wasn't at all what I had expected, but it's called improvising. Look how cute that is. I love it. And then you're surprised and you see another cute edge. Now wait till you see this. So I put right away, as soon as I found this piece, I flipped up my flower and look at this aloe vera piece. Look at that. How cool is that? Now my card is complete. It's no longer stark. I'm super happy. I'm just going to add a little bit. Usually I use a sponge for this. And the dies didn't all come out. I usually don't do that either, but this is just the way it worked out. And I thought, you know what? We're going to leave that just the way it is. Here. And slip it down underneath. And I wanted it to be not separate. I wanted that flower to be just kind of tucked in so that they kind of belong together. Isn't that nice? Woohoo! I'm really happy. And this wasn't my original card at all. I was going to do the scrappy strip technique. I'm still going to do that card, but I'm going to do it in a different video. Otherwise, you just keep going and going and going. And I just heard Gerard's vehicle come in. And that means that It's lunchtime. So anyway, I'm really happy about this. I noticed that a lot of my YouTube viewers are not subscribers yet. So I don't know if you guys just don't know how to do it or you just don't want to see that much of me, but just click on that red button on the bottom right-hand corner of the video. Click on it and then you're subscribed. And then I think a little bell comes up and you can click on that and then you always get my notifications. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment because I really like that. I love connecting with you and I'm so glad you're here. Have a super day. Thanks. Bye.